Hi all, welcome to a brand new webinar. Please wait for our participants for a little while before we begin. Now, let's get started. We are viewing the use of multi-BoM in Odoo's manufacturing module today. So, before that, allow me to introduce myself and my company before we get started. I am Subisha, functional consultant from Cybrosys Technologies. Among the Odoo ERP companies with the quickest growth is us. We are one of the fastest growing companies in Odoo ERP. Cybrosys Technology is an ISO certified private limited company dedicated to delivering exceptional software solutions worldwide. Specializing in Odoo ERP customization, implementation, and aligned services, we also offer source code sale, custom software development. Our commitment to quality and innovations set us apart, ensuring tailored solutions for global businesses. Then, why Odoo? Although there are many ERPs available, Odoo is growing in popularity every day and has millions of users. The primary reason is because Odoo is an open source enterprise resource planning system that includes a wide range of business related applications, including manufacturing, HRMS, e commerce, sales management, accounting, and customer relation management. Odoo is easily customizable for various types of businesses. When compared to other ERP packages, Odoo is a cost-effective solution. Additionally, there are lots of options for integrations and customizations, and Odoo releases new versions every year that improve the expand on the features that are already available. Odoo is an extremely adaptable and user-friendly ERP system. Then in this webinar, we are talking about the manufacturing module. With the Odoo 18 ERP system, a company can efficiently track all manufacturing operations at every level and handle production orders, bill of materials, and work centers. Odoo 18 is competitively dependable for effective task order management. It is now easier to plan and arrange every stage of manufacturing thanks to the specialized module. The main agenda of this webinar is to inform other participants and end users about the Odoo 18 manufacturing module and the use of multi-BoM. We will concentrating on the working of multi-BoM in Odoo 18 manufacturing module in this session. So the main contents are how to create a bill of materials, the work order dependencies, manufacturing lead times, work center configurations, quality checking, byproduct management, cost and financial management. Let's check each topic individually. Manufacturing. To guarantee the finished product satisfies necessary requirements, it involves a number of steps including designing, manufacturing planning, assembly, and quality control. Manufacturing can occur in variety of industries such as food industry, electronics, automotive, and textile sectors. Businesses can lower expense, enhance the product quality, and successfully satisfy client demands by implementing efficient production procedures. Workcenters. To create a perfect end product, a manufacturing order outlines several processes that must be followed. When setting up a manufacturing order in Odoo 18 manufacturing module, all of these processes can be described as work orders. In a medium-sized to large organization, the activities of numerous work centers are coordinated to control the manufacturing processes. It is possible to assign and coordinate each manufacturing stage to these work centers with the help of Odoo 18. Bill of materials. With the bill of material feature in Odoo 18 manufacturing module, you can create a list of components or raw materials required to create a product as well as steps to required to create a finished product. There are three types of BoMs that are manufacture this product, kit and subcontracting. Here the kit. If the BoM type is set as kit option, which enables to assemble the parts into kit and market it as a single item. Any changes to the inventory of kit will also affect the individual parts. The second type is subcontracting. The company does not have to produce every component of the goods. Subcontracting allows you to assign a subcontractor to manufacture the component while you focus more assembling and components you have already purchased. The raw material inventory will be kept at the subcontractor's location. The third type is manufacture this product. If the BoM type is manufacture this product, it means that the product will be made internally rather than being bought or contracted out. All of the parts and procedures needed to manufacture the final product are listed in this BoM within the manufacturing module. It facilitates smooth work order generation, inventory control, and production planning. In Odoo 18 manufacturing, work order dependencies allow users to define the sequence in which operations must be performed within a production order. This ensures that certain work order only start after the completion of preceding operations, optimizing the workflow and resource allocation. Quality checking. In Odoo 18 manufacturing, quality checks can be configured at different stages of production processes, such as before, during, or after production, using these quality control points. This ensures that products meet the required standards and help identifying defects early, improving overall production quality and efficiency. Let's look into how multiple material bills are created and used in a single production order. For an example, let's consider the manufacturing process of a flag. Here we can see the components are colors, white fabric, logo, and some cardboard boxes. Here the first component is colors, and we are taking for an example the colors are blue, green, grey, etc. So if these colors are not available in company stock, they will be purchased at the time of manufacturing. Then the white fabric is the next component, which is manufactured using polyester fibers. To complete the manufacturing of white fabric, an operation named spinning will be performed. Then the third component is logo. Logo printing is an expensive process because the printing machines are too costly. Here the logos are subcontracted. Logo shades, logo templates are the components, and these components will be supplied to the subcontractor. Then the last component is cardboard boxes, which is considered as a packaging materials. The packaging process needs polyester covers, cardboard boxes like that. Since these items are not kept in company stocks, they will be purchased at the time of manufacturing. Here we can see some work orders are here: coloring, steam edging, chemical washing, stitching, and packaging. A sequence of operations is performed during the manufacturing process of a flag. The first one is coloring. Dispersed color printing is performed here. Direct dispersed printing is heat printing method that allows you to print directly on the fabric. The next operation is making the necessary colors by mixing for the flag. The steam edging is the next step. One can use the clothing steamer and hang the item flat while gently steaming the wrinkles on the polyester or nylon flag until they flatten, relax, and make the color more vibrant. The process of creating flags involves chemical washing, which is the next phase. The following stage involves the stitching of the flag, and the final step is packaging of the flag. Before starting the manufacturing process, let's check how the configurations are done and how the components bill of materials are configured. So let's start with the manufacturing module. So let's check the configuration of bill of materials and components. For that, move to the manufacturing module. So we need to enable some features from the settings first. Here we can see under configuration, choose the settings option. Here we can see the work orders. We need to enable this work orders for process operations at a specific work centers. And we can enable this work order dependency to set an order for the work orders should be processed it. We need to enable this two options, and the next one is subcontracting. To get the subcontracting option inside the bill of material, we should enable this one. And we need to enable the shop floor to manage the manufacturing orders from the shop floor app. Then the last one is quality checks, or we should enable this quality option for adding quality checks to our work orders. And here we can see the byproduct. To add some byproduct, we should enable this option. After enabling this configuration, let's save this option and move to the overview window. Here we can see these all are the work centers created, and let's start with creating a new bill of material. For that, click on the products menu and choose the bill of material from there. Here we can see a list of bill of materials with the details like product, reference, BoM type and company are listed here. Let's choose the bill of material created for the product flag. Here we can see the product name, product variant and quantity. If we have some references, we can mention the reference here. Then here we can see the bill of material types, which is manufacture this product, kit, subcontracting. For this product flag, here we are manufacturing this particular product. So choose the BoM type as manufacture this product. And here we can see the tabs named as components, operations, byproduct and miscellaneous. Here the first option is components, and a list of components are shown here. As I said before, the components are colors, white fabric, logo and some cardboard. Here we can see the component colors. Let's open from here. So this is the colors. Here we can see which is tracked by inventory by quantity, and here we can see the sales price, cost price, etc. And here let's check the quantities. Here we can see the green color on hand quantity and the color gray have on hand quantity. Then let's move to the next component, which is dark blue. Colors dark blue, and here we can see the same tracked by inventory as by quantity and the cost, sales price, etc. Let's check the quantity. Here we can see no quantity is for this product dark blue. So we need to purchase this particular product. For that, we need to add a vendor here. So we are purchasing this particular product from the vendor Akka Foster, and here we can see the quantity, price, etc. And here we can see a delivery lead time. Delivery lead time is the time taken for receiving this particular product from this particular vendor. Here we can see the delivery lead time is 2 days, which means this particular vendor needs 2 days time to give this particular product to our stock. Then inside the inventory, must ensure that the routes enabled are replenished on order MTO and buy. Then let's move to the next product, which is white fabric. Here the white fabric has subcontracting. So for that, let's move to the product, and here we can see while checking the quantity, there is no quantity on hand. So let's check the inventory. Here we can see the enabled routes are replenish on order MTO and manufacturing, which means this particular product is manufacturing, not subcontracting. So here we can see the routes are replenish on order MTO and manufacture. Then the next component is logo, which is the one we subcontracting. So here we can see there is no quantity in on hand, and let's check the inventory. Here we can see for subcontracting, we need to enable the routes replenish on order MTO and buy. and we should add the subcontractor name in purchase tab. So we can see the vendor is Anita Oliver, which means the subcontractor is Anita Oliver, and the subcontractor need delivery time 4 days, which means the time taken to in between the confirmation of purchase order and to the receipt. This particular vendor need 4 days time to deliver this product to company stock. Then the last component is cardboard box, and here we can see there is no on-hand quantity available. So we need to purchase it from the Azure interior, and the delivery lead time is 1 day. Then while checking the inventory, here we can see replenish on order, MTO and buy routes are enabled, which means this product will purchase during the manufacturing of flag. And here we can see the product flag, which is also there is no on-hand quantity. Here we can see the on-hand quantity is 0, and here we can see the route is manufacturer. So these are all about the components. Then let's check the operations. Here we can see the operations are coloring, which is inside the the work center is drying work center, and here we can see the duration computation is set manually and the duration is 60 minutes. And here we can see the second operation is steam edging. Here we can see the work center is steaming room and the duration is 60 minutes. And here we can see the third operation is chemical washing, and the work center is washing work center. And stitching and packaging both are takes place in the same work center, which is stitching and packaging center. And here we can see the duration details, etc. We can create a new work center, or we can add a work center, the operation by clicking on this add a line option. Then let's move to the byproduct. Here we can see the byproduct is colored fabric, and one quantity of colored fabric is created as a byproduct during the operation of stitching or during the time of stitching. Here we can see the cost share is 2%. Cost share is nothing. It is the percentage of final production cost for this byproduct line, which is divided by the quantity produced. The total of all byproducts cost share must be less than or equal to 100%. And here we can see the last tab is miscellaneous. Here we can see the manufacturing readiness, which means when the operations are started. When all components are available, we have two options. We can start the manufacturing process when all components are available, or when the components for the first operations are available. And here we can see the version of bill of material. We can change the version by adding some ECO changes. Here we can see the flexible consumption is here. By using this flexible consumption, we have three options. One is allowed with warning and blocked. This flexible consumption, if we set allowed, we can add more components than we mentioned inside the bill of materials. If we setting it as allowed with a warning, if we add or if the user use more component than added inside this bill of material, a warning message is shown. If we set it as blocked, the users cannot use more products or more raw materials or more quantity than mentioned inside this bill of materials. And here we can see the operation dependencies. Create operation level dependencies that will influence both planning and the status of work orders upon this manufacturing order confirmation. If this feature is ticked and nothing is specified, Odoo will assume that all operations can be started simultaneously. Here the operation dependency is set. So here we can see, yes, here we can see blocked by option. Here we can see the steam edging is blocked by coloring, which means the steam edging will perform after completing the coloring process. And here we can see the chemical washing is performed only after completing steam edging, and stitching will perform only after completing the chemical washing. Packaging performed after completing the stitching process. So this work order dependencies can be set by enabling this option. And here we can see the manufacturing lead time, which is the time taken for or scheduled the time taken to schedule the manufacturing process, which is set as 15 days. Inside the components, we have option to mention this particular component is consumed in which operation. Here we can see these colors are used for coloring process, and we need the white fabric for the coloring process. And this logo is using for stitching process, and cardboard boxes are only used for packaging purposes. So these are all about the bill of material created for the product or for the final product flag. Then let's check how the bill of material for manufacturing this particular white fabric created or configured. For that, here we can see this is the bill of material created for this white fabric. Here we can see the manufacturing or the bill of material type is set as manufacture this product. So let's check. Here the component is polyester fiber. While checking the polyester fiber, here we can see the inventory. We set the replenish on order, MTO and buy, which means the polyester fiber have no stock in our no quantity is stocked inside our warehouse. So we need to purchase this polyester fiber while manufacturing this particular product or at the time of manufacturing. And here we can see we can purchase it from both Jenny Fetcher and Anita Oliver. Here we can see the delivery lead time or etc. Here I'm just adding I'm deleting some one of the vendor. So this product is only purchased from Jenny. And here we can see the operations. Spinning is the operation performed during the manufacturing process of this white fabric, and there is no byproduct is mentioned. And here we can see the manufacturing lead time is set as 2 days. We can compute the days to prepare for this manufacturing order by clicking on this compute button. The days to prepare is create and confirm the manufacturing orders this may days in advance to have enough time to replenish the components or manufacture semi-finished products. Note that the security lead time will also be considered when appropriate. For while clicking on this, we can see the days to prepare manufacturing order is 1 day, because we here we can see the delivery lead time for this particular component is 1 day, which means 1 day is taken to get this particular product. So here we can see days to prepare for this manufacturing order is computed as 1 day. Then let's check the next bill of material, which is for the BoM type is subcontracting, which means which is used for subcontracting the component logo. Here we can see the BoM type is subcontracting, and here we can see the subcontractor is Anita Oliver. While checking the product logo, here we can see inside the purchase tab, we set the vendor as Anita Oliver, which means the subcontractor name should be added inside this purchase tab. And here we can see replenish on our order, MTO and buy is set as root here. And here we can see the components. The components are logo template, logo shades, white and green. While checking the root of this particular components, here we can see there is a new root which is resupply subcontractor on order, which means this particular components are resupplying to the subcontractor, and we are buying the final product logo from this particular subcontractor. So these are all about the bill of materials. Next one is Workcenter configuration. We get the Workcenter option from the configuration menu. Here we can see the Workcenters. So these all are the already created Workcenters. A Workcenter is a manufacturing or a Workcenter in the manufacturing process is a specified physical location or the resource where a particular production operations or a task is performed. So here we can see the Workcenter name, code, tag, cost per hour, capacity, time efficiency, OEE, target, etc. Here we can see the first work center is spinning mill, which is used while performing the spinning operation of during the manufacturing process of white fabric. By clicking on this, here we can see the work center name is spinning, and here we can see the settings like tag, alternative work center, or like that. Here we can see the alternative work center is the work center that can be substituted to this one in order to dispatch the production. And here we can mention the code, working hours, company name, etc. Working hours, we can define the working schedule of this particular resource. If not set, the resource will have fully flexible working hours. And under the general information, we can see the details like time efficiency, capacity, OEE target, setup time, cleanup time, etc. Here, the time efficiency, this field is used to calculate the expected duration of a work order at this work center. For an example, if a work order takes 1 hour and the efficiency factor is 100%, then the expected duration will be 1 hour. If the efficiency factor is 200%, however, the expected duration will be 30 minutes. And the next one is capacity. Capacity means default number of pieces in a production unit of measure that can be produced in parallel or at the same time at this work center. For an example, if the capacity is set as 5 and you need to produce 10 units, then the operation time listed on the BoM will be multiplied by 2. However, note that both time before and after production will only be counted once. And here we can see the next one is OEE target, which is overall effective efficiency target in percentage. Here we can mention some setup time and cleanup time for the work center also. And under the costing information, we can see the cost per hour and cost per employee. Here the cost per hour means the hourly processing cost of work center and the hourly processing cost of the employee. Here we can mention the expense account and an analytic distribution. The expense account is used for when the manufacturing order is marked as done. If not set, it is the expense account of the final product that will be used instead. And here we can mention the allowed employees for doing the operation. Here I am adding the allowed employee as Eka Forster. Sorry. If the allowed employee field is left empty, all employees can be logged into this particular work center. And these all are about the general informations of the work center. Here we can see specific capacities. If we want to set specific capacity per product, we can set it here. And here we can see the equipment. If we use some equipments during the manufacturing process, we can add the equipment name by clicking on the add a line option. We can configure this equipment from the maintenance module. Then the last tab is maintenance, which is used for the maintenance details or which is used to store the maintenance details of this particular work center. Here we can see the effective date, which is the date will be used to compute the mean time between failures. And here we can see the expected mean time between the two failures and mean time between failures. Mean time between failures computed based on the done corrective maintenances. Here we can see the estimated next failure, which is computed based on the latest failure date plus empty BF. This mean time between failures. And here we can see the latest failure date and the mean time between two repairs. Then here we can see some smart tabs. The first one is operations. Here we already configured one operation inside this work center, which is named as spinning. While clicking on this, here we can see the operation details, which we will discuss later. And here we can see the next work center is for coloring. Here we can see which is dyeing work center. All the general information, specific capacity, equipment details are, can be shown here also. Here we can see the cost per hour is 100 per work center and 50 per employees. While checking the operations, here we can see coloring is performed inside this particular work center. And the third work center is steaming room. Here we can see the cost per hour and cost per hour per work center and employee is set as $100 and $50. And the operation is steam etching during the production of flag. The next work center is washing work center. Here the cost per employee and cost per work center is set as 100 and 50. And here we can see the operations like chemical washing. This chemical washing is occur in this particular work center. And the last work center is stitching and packaging center. Here we can see the cost per hour is 50 per work center and 25 per employee. And while checking the operation, here we can see two operations. One is stitching and second one is packaging. Both are occur in this particular work centers. And let's move to the operations. Here we can see under the configuration, we have operations. We can see all the configured operations here. We can click this new button to create a new one. Here we can see the spinning. So this particular operation will perform inside the work center spinning mill. If we have any if we want to apply this particular on particular variants, we can add here. We can see the duration computation. We can compute this based on tractor time or set duration manually. If we choose it as set duration manually, here we can see the duration is 60 minutes. And the first operation for the manufacturing of flag, here we can see this is the coloring, and here we can see which is performed inside the work center and in the dyeing work center. And here there is no operations to block this particular operation because this is considered as the first operation. While checking the second one, here we can see the steam etching will perform only after coloring, which means the coloring operation is blocked by this particular operation. And here we can see under chemical washing, we blocked it by steam etching, which means the steam etching is the first operation must perform before this chemical washing. And here stitching, here we can see the chemical washing is blocked by this particular operation. And the last one is packaging, which is blocked by stitching operation. So this is how we can set the operation dependencies. And so we configured the bill of material, work centers and operation. Then let's move back to the bill of materials because we need to check something more. So this is the bill of material. Let's open the bill of material created for the product flag. Here we can see some smart tabs, operations performance. We can see the performance of our operation by clicking on the smart tab, and we can see an overview of the BoM, which means the total expense of this particular production. We can see it from the BoM overview. By clicking on this, here we can see this is for one quantity. Here we can mention the quantity, and here we can see the total expense. So let's check each one separately. Here we can see the product flag 1 unit, and here we can see the lead time. We can set the lead time inside the miscellaneous. So we set 15 days as the lead time. So here we can see the lead time is 15 days. So the route is manufacture, and here we can see the BoM cost and production cost. Production cost, which means the cost of this particular product flag, which we set inside the product form, which is set as 1,500. And here we can see the BoM cost. Let's check how this BoM cost is calculated. For that, here we can see these are the components for the particular product flag. Here we can see the first component is color green. And here we can see the lead time is 2 days, which is buy from Eka Foster. And here we can see the product cost is 50. And the second color is gray, and the cost is 50. And for the third color also, we can see the cost is 50. And here we can see the next component is white fabric, which is manufacturing. or which we need to manufacture this particular white fabric. So the component for the manufacturing process is polyester fiber. And here we can see the lead time is 1 day, and here we can see the manufacturing lead time is 3 days for this white fabric. And here we can see the cost is or the BOM cost is 230, because here we can see the polyester fiber the cost is 80, and while checking the operation which is performed inside the work center spinning mill, and the working time is set as 30 minutes. And here we can see the cost, which is cost per work center, which we set as $100, and the cost per employee is set as $50. That's why here we can see 150. Let's open a calculator. Here we can see let's check the total cost. Here we can see the cost of this polyester fiber, which means the raw material is 80, plus here we can see the cost of operation is $150. So we get this 230. Here we can see the BOM cost for this white fabric is 230. And here we can see the next component, or the next component is logo. And here we can see which is subcontracting. So there is no lead time is set here. And here we can see the first component is logo template, which is with the cost of 55. And logo sheets both have $50 each. So the total expense for subcontracting is 55 plus 50 plus 50, which means 155. Plus we have subcontracting cost as 100. So here we can see 50 plus 50 is 100, and 55 155 plus this 100, we can see this 255, which means 55 is the cost of logo template, and both the colors 50 plus 50. And here we can see while contracting or while purchasing this particular product, we have a cost of 100. So the total is 255. So this 255 is the total BOM cost for this particular product logo. And here we can see last component is cardboard. We need 4 units of this particular cardboard and need 1 day as lead time, which is buy from the vendor Azure Interior. And here we can see the cost is 40. So let's so these are the component cost, and let's unfold this and let's check the operation cost. We set $50 or $100 per work center cost for the work center, and $50 for $50 as employee cost for the work center, except the stitching and packaging center. For the stitching and packaging center, we set 25 as employee cost and 50 as work center cost. So let's check the operations. Here we can see for the coloring, dyeing work center needs 150 as this work center cost. Let me open the calculator again. Here we can see for the first work center, we need a cost of 150, and the second work center also we need a cost of 140. Third is chemical washing, and we need a cost of $150. And here we can see for stitching, we the cost is 75, and for the packaging, the cost is 75, which means the total operation cost is 600. Then let's add the component cost. Here, while checking the component cost, here we can see the cost $50 for the each of this colors, plus Here we can see 230 for the 230 is the BOM cost for white fabric, and 255 is the BOM cost for the logo. And here we can see $40 for this particular cardboards. While checking, here we can see, yes, here we can see the total cost for the manufacturing process of this particular flag is 1,275, but we set at 2% as byproduct cost share. So we need to deduct that particular 2% while checking the 2% of this, which is 25.5. So we need to deduct this 25.5 from 1,275 minus 25.5. So here we can see the BOM cost for the product flag is shown here, which is 1,249.5. And here we can see the cost of the byproduct is 25.5, which means the 2% of total cost. So if we want to check for 10 quantities, we can edit the quantity from here, and the values are increased according to this or for this particular units. We have option to print this particular details, and we can display, or we can restrict, or we can add the availability and ECOs, etc. So here we can see, while adding this availability, here we can see the estimated date, which means we can see the estimated date of the flag. And here we can see the color green, gray are available, and we set a lead time for the purchase of the dark blue. Here we can see the estimated date like that. So this is all about the BOM overview of this particular product flag. So let's check how the quality control points or how the quality checks works. So next, let's check how the quality checking acts. For that, we need to set some quality control points. So we need to move to the quality module first. Adding quality checks during manufacturing is essential to maintain the product consistency and meet the industrial standards. It allows early detection of defects, minimizing the costly rework, material waste, and production delays. By identifying issues at various stages, manufacturers can ensure each component and final product meets the required specifications. Quality checks also improve the operational efficiency by reducing the errors and ensuring the compliance with safety and regulatory requirements. Ultimately, it builds the customer trust and enhances the satisfaction and strengthens the brand's reputation in the market. So we can set the control points from the quality control and open the control points. These all are the quality control points which we set previously for the manufacturing process of the product flag. Let's check each one separately. For that, I am opening the first one. Here we can see the title is given as quality checking 1, and which is for the product flag. And here we can see the operation is chosen as manufacturing and the work order operation is coloring, which means this particular quality checking appears while the first work order is in progress. Here we can see the type is chosen as instruction, and here I am adding the instruction as mix the colors properly. So then let's move to the quality control points and open the second one, which is quality checking 2 for the product flag, and the operation is same manufacturing. Here we can see the work order operation is stitching, which means we need to add some quality checking during the stitching process, and the type is set as measure. Here I am adding the norm as 10 mm and the tolerance from 5 to 10. And there is no instruction and message if failing, and notes are not added here. So let's check the next one, which is quality checking 3 for the product flag. And the work order operation is packing. So we need to check or we set the quality checking as pass or fail. And no instructions or something is added here. Then the last one is quality checking 4, and there is no work order operations, which means the quality checking of the manufacturing process. And we set the type as take a picture, which means we need to upload the picture of the final product before stopping or before completing the manufacturing process. So this is how we set the control points. Then let's move to the next one, which means we need to set some credentials for the users. We added some Workcenters and allowed some employees, which the employees are Eka Foster, Demo, and Admin. So we need to set some credentials. By adding this credential to the user, logging at Workcenters during manufacturing is crucial for maintaining control over who can access and operate machineries. It enhances the security by preventing unauthorized usage and ensures that only trained personnel perform specific tasks. This logging system creates a clear audit trail, allowing supervisors to track individual performances and accountability. It also helps in complying with the industrial regulations and internal quality standards by documenting who performed each operations. Overall, it improves the operational transparency, reduces error, and promotes a safe and more efficient manufacturing environment. So we can set the user credential from the employee module. And here we can see the employee. The first one is Eka Foster. Let's open Eka Foster, and from the settings tab, here we can set the PIN code. So this PIN code is used for attendance, point of sale, and manufacturing. Here I am setting 3 zeros as the PIN code for Eka Foster. Then let's search for demo, and inside the settings, here I am changing the password to 3 ones. And let me check the next one, which is admin, and I'm setting the PIN code as 222. Then let's move back to the manufacturing. So all the operations or all the configurations are completed. Then let's move to the manufacturing process. Then to add a new manufacturing order, we need to move to the operations menu, and we can choose the manufacturing orders from here. And here we can see all the manufacturing orders. There is no manufacturing order in to-do stage. If we remove this filter, here we can see all the manufacturing orders are listed here with the details like reference number, start date, product name, next activity, source document, component status, quantity, unit of measure, company, and state. So these all are the manufacturing orders within state, either in done or in cancel. To add a new one, we can click this new button, and inside this, here we can see the product quantity, bill of material, etc. First we should add the product name, and here we can see the bill of material is added, and here we can see the components, work orders, and byproducts. Here we can see some components are not available, and here we can see the work orders, all the work orders and Workcenters, quantity reserved, and expected duration and real duration are shown here. There is no real duration is updated yet because we do not start the operation. So then the next tab is for byproduct. Here the already added colored fabric is shown here as byproduct, and which will store to the stock location, and the quantity need to produce is 1, and here we can see the unit of measures. Under miscellaneous tab, here we can see the operation type is set as your company manufacturing. And the components stored location is WH stock, which means all the components are stored inside the stock location. And here we can see the finished products location is also stock location. We can change it to like shelf 2, which means after completing the manufacturing process of the flag, the final product flag will stored in this WH stock shelf 2 location. The user can add the source document details, project and company name, etc. here. If the user needs, they can specify some notes here. Currently, I am not updating these details. Then here we can see the manufacturing order is in draft stage, and here we need to mention the scheduled date as 27, which means today. And here we can confirm the manufacturing order. After confirmation, here we can see the component status. Some components are not available here. Here we can see some components are not available, and here we can see the scheduled date is 27th, while the scheduled end date is July 12th, which means 15 days after the scheduled date. It is because we set a manufacturing lead time as 15 days inside our bill of material. So here we can see the scheduled end date is updated 15 days after the scheduled date. While checking the components, here we can see the green and gray colors are updated here or reserved here, and the other quantities or other components are not reserved, which are not available. And here we can see some purchase orders and child demo is created. Let's check or let's open each one separately. So let's start with the child demo. Here we can see this is the manufacturing order created for the white fabric, which is one of the component and which is not available yet. So here we can see the scheduled date is 25th, which means 2 days before the scheduled date of the source manufacturing order, because we set a manufacturing lead time as 2 days inside the bill of material of this white fabric. So according to that particular manufacturing lead time, the scheduled date is updated. And here we can see the component status is not available because the polyester fiber is not in our stock. So we need to purchase that particular product. Here we can see one purchase order is also created. First, we need to open the purchase order. And here we can see the order deadline is 24th, which means 1 day before the expected or the scheduled date of that manufacturing process, because we set a delivery lead time 1 day for this particular product. And here we can see the vendor is Jenny, and we need to confirm the order and receive the product first. Now the component status is available. We can click this plan button, and here we can see the work order, which is the work order is spinning and the work center is spinning mill. Here we can see there is a start button here. Here we can see the expected duration is 60 minutes and the real duration is 0 here. The status is ready, which means the operation is in ready status. By clicking on the start button, here we can see you are not allowed to work on this work center, which means we set the allowed employee as Eka Foster inside the work center. That's why the Eka Foster is the only one. Here we can see by clicking on this, we have options like done to change the status to done. Here, if we want to block the work center, we click on this block button. If you want to open it from the shop floor, we can click on this open shop floor. So to move to the shop floor, let's click on this button. Here we can see the Michelle admin is the employee. I'm logging out. So Michelle admin is logged out from the shop floor. We need to add or the operator is Eka Foster. To add a new operator, we can click on this add operator button and choose the operator. We need to add the credential, then confirm. Here we can see Eka Foster is logged in. So to start the process, click on this button, and here we can see the operation is in progress now. And while clicking on this gear icon, we have some option to add scrap orders. If we want to add some more components, we can click this add component button. If we want to add some byproduct, we can click on this button. To move to the manufacturing order, we can use this button. If we want to move to the work center, we can use this move to work center, and we can update the instruction from here. And the users can also create quality alert and maintenance requests from the shop floor, and users can block the work center by clicking on this block button. Currently, I am not doing this. Then after completing the spinning operation, we can click this mark as done. And by clicking on this close production, the manufacturing order will change to completed stage, or we can move to the manufacturing order. Let's refresh the page, and here we can see the work order status is changed to finished. So here this green icon shows which is in done stage. We can use this because someone else is allowed for this work order, or someone else is completed. And here which is into close status, we can click this produce all button. Now the manufacturing order is completed. Let's move to the source MO. Here we can see the white fabric is reserved here. So this is how the child MO works. Then let's move to the purchase orders. Here we can see there are 3 purchase orders. Let's check each one. So let's start with the last one, which means number 42. And here we can see which is for the product colors dark blue. And here we can see the vendor is Eka Foster, and the order deadline is 25th. Just because we set a delivery lead time as 2 days, which means 2 days before the scheduled date, 27th is 25th. Let's confirm the order and receive the product first. Yes. Now the purchase order is completed, and the next one is 42. And here we can see which is for the product logo. And here we can see Anita Oliver is the subcontractor here, which means we need to subcontract this logo. For that, let's confirm the order. Before receiving the product, the user need to resupply the components to the subcontractor. So here we can see the resupply option is here, and let's click on it, and we need to resupply this product, then receive the goods. So the purchase order is completed, and the last one is for the cardboard. So here we can see the order deadline is 26th, which means we set the delivery lead time as 1 day. So 1 day before the order scheduled date, confirm the order and receive the product. So all the purchase orders are completed. Let's check the manufacturing order and the components. Here all the components are reserved, and here we can see the component status is changed to available, and here we can see the transfers. All the transfers are completed. So the components are reserved. Then let's check the let's start the work orders from here. To check the operations, move to the work order tab. Here we can see the operation status. Before that, let's click on this plan button. So here we can see the operations. Here by checking the status, here we can see the coloring is in ready status, and the others are waiting for some other operations. It is because we set the work order dependencies. All these operations are blocked by the previous one. So let's start with the first operation. By clicking on this, here we can see you are not allowed to work on this work center, because here we set the operator as marked BoM. While clicking on this button, we can open the work orders. Here we can see the work order is in ready status, and here we can see all the other details here. While checking the work order details of this particular one, we can see the scheduling information, waiting the previous work order, and here we can see the planned details. So let me open the work order, and we can move to the shop floor from here by clicking on this. Here we can see this is the shop floor, and here we can see the dyeing work center. Let's just add the operator demo, and here we can see the operator, and we need to add the password. Then here we can see demo is logged in, and here we can see the coloring the operation. Let's start the operation. So we set a quality checking as instruction. Here we can see the instruction. Let's click on the next one. So the quality checking is completed. Here we can see the instruction and register the product. We can see all the product details from here. After completing the operation, let's click this mark as done. And here we can see the next operation button is here. If we schedule the next operation in same work center, we can click that next operation button. But the next operation, there is no operation is scheduled in this particular work center. So we need to move back to the manufacturing order. Here we can see the first operation is completed and the second operation is in ready status. Let's move to the shop floor. Again, here the same mark demo is the operator. Here we can see the steam edging is the operation, and there is no quality check. So let's start the process from here. And after completing, we can click this mark as done button. So here we can see the operation is completed. The next operation is chemical washing, and which is in the work center is set as washing work center. So we need to move back to the manufacturing order. So the second operation is finished and the third one is in ready status. We can move to the shop floor, or we can start the operation from here because the operator is Michelle admin, and we can click this or we can complete the operation from here by clicking on this done button. If I'm clicking on this done button, so the washing is completed. And the next one is stitching, which is the same operator as Michelle admin. Let's start from here and let's move to the shop floor. Here we can see we need to add the password, and here we can see the stitching is in progress, and we added a quality checking as measures. If we stop, then here we can see the quality checking 2, which is measure. I'm adding the measure as 10 mm. Let's validate it. Now the quality checking is completed. Let's click on this mark as done button and let's click the next operation. Here we can see the next operation is packaging. Let's start it from here. So we need to add the another quality checking, which is pass or fail. Let's click the pass, and here we can see the operation is ongoing, and here we can see 4 units of cardboard is used. And let's click this mark as done and move back to the manufacturing order. Let's refresh the page and checking the work order. Here we can see all the work orders are completed, and here we can see the expected duration and real duration is updated here. So the manufacturing process is completed. after completing, which is into close stage. But if we try to close it, here we can see you still need to do some quality checks, which means we set another quality checking as add a picture. So by clicking on this quality check, here we can see we need to add the final product or the picture of the final product. So I'm choosing the picture from my system, and let's validate it. So here we can see all the which means all the quality checking is completed and the manufacturing order is in to close. So let's check one more thing. We set the operation dependency. We can see the pictorial representation of that operation dependency from the planning. Here we can see we have a planning by work center, and I'm removing the filters and searching with my manufacturing order sequence number. Here we can see the work order dependency is shown as a here. Here we can see this is the first operation, which is coloring, and here we can see the details like start date, stop date with the time, and here we can see the work center, and which is this arrow mark shows that after completing the coloring, the next operation steam edging will perform. And here we can see the pictorial representation of that operation dependencies. Let's move back to the manufacturing order. Let's complete the manufacturing order by clicking this produce all button. So the manufacturing order is completed. Let's check the smart tabs. Here we can see the traceability option. By clicking on this traceability option, here we can see the final product is flag and the byproduct is colored fabric. Here we can see the product details or the components details. Here the components are from stock to the production location, and here we can see the colored fabric, and the final product flag is moved to the shelf 2 location. Just because here we can see the two location is changed, where just because we say changed the finished goods location to shelf 2. That's why the traceability is shown like that. And while checking the product movement, here we can see each of the product movements, like the cardboard boxes moved from stock to virtual location production, like that. And here we can see the colored fabric and flag, which are moved from the virtual production location to the shelf 2 location. And the next one is overview. While checking the overview, here we can see total cost details of the manufacturing process. Here we can see the real cost and the unit cost of this manufacturing process. Here we can see the calculation is based on the real duration, and here we can see the real duration of each work centers, and the real cost or the unit cost is shown for dyeing work center, which is 100, but the only few hours are worked. So that's why the based on the hour, the quantity or the real cost is updated. And here we can see also the details like employee cost. Here we can see the employee cost. Here the mark to move. The employee cost is 75, but the based on the working hours, the cost is updated here. And here we can see the byproduct cost because we added a 2% as cost share. That's why the cost is updated. And here we can see the cost breakdown of the product, which means we can see the average cost of component per unit and average operations cost and the average total cost and unit of measure. We have the option to view the MO cost and BOM cost etc. Here the MO cost and BOM cost, which we already discussed. And so here we can see the quality check. This is the quality check we created for the manufacturing process, and the quality checking is completed. So here we can see two manufacturing orders. Here this is our source manufacturing order, then this is our child BoM. So that's all about the manufacturing process of flag. Here we are using the multi-BoMs. Before concluding, let's check the journal entries too. For that, once again, I'm open the same manufacturing order and let's move to the overview. So here we can see the unit cost of flag is 845.79. So let's check the calculation. Here we can see the total cost of component, total cost of operation and total cost of productions are shown here. While checking the total cost of components, opening a calculator. Here we can see the total cost of component is 50 plus 50, 100 for the colors, green and gray, and $2 for the color dark blue, and 101.37 for this white fabric, and 255 for logo. And cardboard, the unit price is 100, but we used 4 quantity, so the real cost is 400. So here we can see 858.37 is the component cost. Yes, here we can see the component cost is 858.37, and here we can see the operation cost. This is the cost for the Workcenters during each operation, and here we can see that red color shows the employee cost in each Workcenters during each processes. And here, while unfolding, here we can see the total production cost, or the cost of operation is 4.68. While adding these values, we get the total sum 4.68. So here we can see the total cost of operation is 4.68. So here we can see the total cost of production, which means here the 858.37 is the cost of component, and I am adding the cost of production 4.68, and here we can see the 863.05 is the total cost of the production. And here we can see there is a byproduct, and here we can see there is a byproduct, and while checking we set a 2% as cost share, so we need to check the cost share. Here we can see the unit cost is shown here. By checking the 2% of this value, here we can see the 17.261, which means 17.26 is the cost share value. So we need to reduce it. 863.05 is the total cost of production. So we need to deduct the cost share or the cost of the byproduct from this value, which is 17.26. And here we can see 845.79 is the, here we can see, which is the unit cost. So this is the unit cost of the product flag. Then let's check the stock journals or the journal entry. For that, I am moving to the accounting module, and here we can see all the journal entries under this accounting. Here we need to choose the journal entries, and here we can see these all are the journal entries produced during the manufacturing process of flag. Let's check the journal entry for the flag. So this is the journal entry created for the production of flag. Here we can see two accounts are here, cost of production account and stock valuation account. Here the cost of production account is the production account and which is the type is current asset. Here we can see the value is credited here because the current asset value is decreased. And here you can see the stock valuation account. The current asset value is increased. So here we can see the value is debited on this particular account. So this is the value of or unit cost of the flag. Then let's check the labor expense. Here we can see expense account and cost of production, which means the production account is affected. Here we can see the expense account is credited because the expenses decreased. So which is credited in the expense account, and the cost of production is production account, and here we can see which is debited because the asset value is increased. So the account is debited. So this is how the posted or the journal entries are posted in manufacturing or during the production. So this is all about manufacturing using multi-BoMs. Let's conclude the session. For more clarification, you can check our functional, technical videos and blogs. You can contact us through the mail ID odoo@cybrosys.com. Thank you for watching.